He's a singer, and he's a man that can shake, rattle, and roll. And he takes us down memory lane week after week with Where Are They Now? And the Song of the Week. To finish the show, it's our pop encyclopedia, Shane.
How are you, mate? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Cold enough for you, Shane, last week?
Cold enough? Oh, it's terrible, mate. It still isn't too good either. I mean, I'm
last Thursday with that storm
Thursday,
that
Friday. I mean, every day, and I had to go out, you know, out in public doing different things, coming here to do my show. And before that, I was doing a radio interview or something else, out in there doing my thing. And I hate my hair getting wet, you know. You don't have to worry about it. Just the water splashes off your head. I'm there with the brolly inside out going, God, I hate this weather. But anyway, I survived, and I'm not complaining, really.
Have you got your long johns on at all, Shane, for this weather?
I always wear them when I come to see you. I feel safer.
Have you got a pair of long johns on?
No, I haven't.
No, it has been cold though, but Shane, all that pales into insignificance.
It certainly does.
All that preamble that we've just had now,
Yes.
compared to...
Song of the Week, and no long johns about this one, I can tell you. This is, well, his middle name is Travis, and I thought it was time we had a little update on Mr. Glenn Travis Campbell.
Wow.
And we all know Glenn Campbell, wonderful, went for years and everything, and he's still going strong. Physically, he's very healthy at the moment, but I thought I'd give you an update, because poor Glenn, you know, suffering from Alzheimer's now and everything else. Anyway, but it all started for Glenn way back in 1936 when he was born, in April the 22nd, 1936, and he was born in Arkansas. He started like any other kid. He got a guitar given to him by his uncle. Uncle Boo, that was his name, and Uncle Boo said, look, here, kid, and it was a real beaten up old guitar. The neck needed adjusting and all those sort of things, and he played around with it and showed him how to play it, and it was really hard work for Glenn to learn it, but 4 years old, what the hell. By the time he was 16, he was playing great. He went off to join his uncle's band, Dick Bill and the Sandia Mountain Boys.
Wow.
Now, we're talking about around about 16.
That's a name. That's a good name.
It's a great name. I love it. It conjures up straight away the cowboy band, you know, the early country and western. The whole thing was going on. It was big in the States at that time. And had a great gig there for a couple of years, and he played with them and really got proficient and thought, hey, this is good, and this is for me. I want to be a star. Music business is going to be my business. So, of course, this made him hungry for more, so he went to LA where it was all happening with the music scene. He fell in with a great crowd, and he got a lot of studio work, and he became more and more in demand because he was really, really good. And a great guitar player, and he got a reputation around the town. So he ended up being in a band called the Wrecking Crew, which you know, and everybody knows the Wrecking Crew. There's even a movie about them. They backed all those artists, hundreds of artists, on all those hit records over and over. And they started doing all the backings for Capitol Records. Frank Sinatra, Nancy Sinatra, Jan and Dean, and all these other great acts that were going through at that time. The Beach Boys, that's where he moves on. Now the Beach Boys, 1964, Brian Wilson decides he's got to leave the Beach Boys and write the music just for the band. This is 1964, very early in the piece, and he was the bass player. So they asked Glenn, hey Glenn, can you fill in for the band? He says, yeah, why not? So he goes on tour with the Beach Boys for at least 6 months.
Wow.
December 64 it was.
What a place to be.
And he was right in the middle of the Beach Boys, and he did all the falsetto parts, singing, and he played bass for the Beach Boys. So that was the beginning of another career, you know. And of course later on after that, he was in great demand again. He's still doing his sessions, and he was still trying to make it as a solo artist. He went in the studio and made, Capitol signed him, and he went out there and he got about number 62 with a song called Turn Around, Look at Me. And that was the biggest single he had around that era. Nothing else did anything, it just bubbled away. But that made 62 in the charts and Billboard. That's as close as he got to stardom as a soloist.
But when did it all start to go really great for Glenn Campbell?
Well, what happens is he's out of the Rick Nelson thing, he's out there and he's still working as a session man, but he records, he's had a brief hit. But what happens is he meets up with Al DeLore, who was one of the Wrecking Crew. He was one of the players in the band. And he goes up to Glenn, and Capitol are thinking, well, look, Glenn's had all his songs out, nothing's really happened. We haven't had any major hits. And as a record company does, oh, let's drop him, you know. And Al DeLore, he says, look, I'll get together with Glenn. I reckon I could still get a hit for him, and I'll produce you, and we'll co-write, and we'll do some things, and we'll see what happens, you know. And I'll search the songs out and find you some good stuff. And it was a great move. The two of them got on like a house on fire anyway, and so they both played music, and they could write together, and that's how it all started. And in no time, probably within a year, he released a song called Burning Bridges, which got as a country music top 20 hit. And he produced an album, and that went out there as well, and that was in the top 20. So that's his big break. That was the big break in the country music. He was suddenly got a bit of a name. But then what confirmed it was Al DeLore did his next album, produced the whole album, and he had some Jim Webb songs in there. And some other ones. Gentle on My Mind was the next one. And Gentle on My Mind really broke him because it was a beautiful, and everyone loved that. You were gentle on my mind, you know, and it was just a well-known song, and everyone wanted to sing it. And then it followed that up with By the Time I Get to Phoenix, and then he was away.
Well, that's got to be the big one.
That's when it started really
and
going.
And then I remember my honeymoon.
Your honeymoon? Oh, hello. Did you have one of those?
I had one of those. Guess what?
Yeah.
The big song was Wichita Lineman.
Yeah, a beautiful song.
Wow, that's
1968?
69. Yeah, 68.
68, yeah.
The summer of 68, 69.
It's one of the greatest songs ever written. Yeah. It's in the category there. It's way up in the top 10 greatest songs ever written. You know, by the powers that be. But yeah, I am a lineman for the county.
Well, look, I heard that.
So you had your honeymoon to that, did you?
I'm a young...
I'll never listen to that song the same again.
No, you won't. You won't. I was a young 21-year-old, and I thought that was the greatest song.
It's a beautiful song, yeah. It still is. I mean, I'm just thinking of performing it myself because it's such a great song, you know. But what happens, we tell the same story every week. The drugs and the alcohol took over. And, of course, 2 wives he'd been divorced from, 3. And then, at 68, this huge star, the drugs have kicked in, and so have the alcohol, and he'd become an alcoholic. And everything was, all the demons were loose, you know.
The demons were loose.
The demons were loose, and he was in there
with
them. And so you know, and he had this mad, passionate affair with Tanya Tucker, the country music singer. But meanwhile, the career is just rocketing away. And so, but on a blind date, he meets the wife that he's been married to now for 20 or 30 years, basically 30 years. She's still there, Kim Woolen. Now, he met her, and she was a good, Christian, wholehearted, wholesome girl. You know, one of those good girls.
Yeah, you needed one of those, Shane.
Yeah, well, I've got one. But he hadn't met one of those girls for a long time, you know, someone that sympathised with how he felt and wanted to help him get rid of those demons that he was out there swinging with.
Demons.
Those demons. Yeah. So she did. And he actually, the way it happened was he fell down on his knees and he prayed to the Lord and said, forgive me, I really want to get out of this. Help me get rid of these demons. I love this woman and all that sort of stuff. And he became a born-again Christian there at that moment.
And how did you get rid of your loose demons, Shane?
My demons are still with me, and you're one of them.
You can get down on your knees now if you like.
Oh, Lord. I do not jest.
I can feel a slap coming on.
Yeah, I don't. Stop me preaching. Oh.
Shane, I can surmise.
You can.
That tonight's Song of the Week has
got to be Glenn Campbell from 1969 with my favourite Jim Webb song, Galveston.
Galveston, oh Galveston, I still hear your sea blowing, and I still see her dark eyes glowing. She was 21 when I left Galveston. Just clean my gun, then dream of Galveston.
Jimmy Webb wrote that, as he did Wichita Lineman, Where's the Playground, Susie, all those great hits, you know. But did you know?
No.
Did you know? Well, he did have a relapse in 2003. I'm telling tales now. But he did have a relapse and on the alcoholism. And, you know, there's a fine line you tread. And he fell off the wagon. And the police arrested him in 2003 and said, hello, what's going on here? And they asked him his name, and he was drunk off his face, and he was driving. They pulled him over, and they said, so who are you? What's your name? And he said, I'm the Rhinestone Cowboy. And they didn't think that was very funny. They had no idea it was Glenn Campbell or anything. They kept saying, Rhinestone Cowboy, what's your name, boy? He kept saying the Rhinestone Cowboy. So he got in a lot of trouble for that and got a big fine, banned from driving and everything else. But poor old Glenn, God bless him.
He should have said, I'm the Rhinestone Sausage.
Wow, the poshest sausage you've ever mentioned.
Sterling job.
Oh my God.
Sterling job, Shane.
God bless Glenn Campbell. I'm sorry about this, mate.
Good choice tonight, Shane. All I can say is, Shane, you've done it again.
Galveston,